What's going on, everyone? Justin here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Going to be continuing the 2011 Lotus Evora S restoration project with wheels and the rear bumper. That's going to be the focus for today. So wheels, I've had these things kicking around for about a month, and I finally have tires on them, and so I'll get to see what they look like, make sure that they don't rub. They shouldn't, but we'll find out together. And then the rear bumper, I have the diffuser that goes underneath, and then also the diffuser finishing panel that has a reverse backup sensors in it. Both of those were cracked in the accident when I got in the car, and so I've retrieved those from the UK. Finally going to be able to put this thing back together, start to get some of the interior bits back in the trunk, and so just excited to be done with like that half of the car, where I could start to put some of these panels and everything back up. And just wanted to do a quick shout out as well. The outpouring of support that I've had in the forums is insane, between Lotus Talk and then the Facebook groups that I'm in. It's actually been really awesome, and like engaging with people that own these cars. Everyone's been super friendly and very helpful. Sorry for haggling on the prices. I am trying to keep this thing a budget build, but everyone has been great. And I did want to do another shout out to Christina. Thank you, Christina, for the wheels, for the hookup on the wheels, and also for the exhaust. Evan from Cloud9 Exotics hooked me up with the tires just yesterday, so that was cool. And then Spec'd Performance, so Nikki at Spec'd Performance, he's my machinist and go-to for all things like really mechanical. He also has a road force balancer, and he was able to get these things precision balanced so I could, not die at 100 miles an hour. So anyway, I'm going to be jumping right into the video, starting with the tires, so stand by for that. Thanks. So let's talk wheels. This is what we have stock. This is a 2011 S, and this was an option. I don't even know what these wheels are called. I think they're HPSs or something, but I do actually like the style. The problem is this one wheel, as you can see, is no good. It's literally cracked in half. The tire actually looks like it's good, but if you take a look at the casting, I don't know how well this is going to come out, but that's no bueno. There's no way to fix this thing. So I needed new wheels. I did actually get another wheel from the UK. That's going to be coming here for like $300. And so I'm going to keep this as a backup set. So this is going to be the winter tires. And with that in mind, I wanted to just get high performance summer wheel set, right? And so I wanted something wider. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit bigger probably. And then with the most aggressive, ultra high performance summer tires. And I could just keep this as all seasons basically, or dedicated winter tires. Probably just the dedicated winter tires. And being how these tires themselves aren't terrible, even though they're probably old, I might just start off with these. So we'll see. But anyway, spec-wise, what you're looking at is from front to rear. They're 18 by 8s on the front, and then they're 19 by 9.5 inches on the rear as far as rim specs. And then you got 225/40 on the front and 255/35 on the rear. The front tires, they're 21 pounds, the rears are 27. So not the lightest, but also that's not too bad, right, considering the size of them. And now this goes over to the Vossens. These are the ones that I picked up off of Local Enthusiast, or a Lotus Enthusiast, I should say. These came off a 2020 Evora GT, and they're basically the same spec, at least the tires are. So what you're looking at is 19 by 8.5s for the front, and then 20 by 11s for the rear. The Evora GTs are 20 by 10.5 from the factory, so this is obviously a little bit wider, which will probably do better with the sidewall as far as like squiggle or whatever. The wider the rim, as long as you're not stretching the tire, the better the handling characteristics for the most part. I learned that from my Miata days. And then the tires are 245/35s on the front, and they're 295/30s on the rear. So that's a big difference, right? You're talking 40 millimeter difference on the rears with these new tires. So that's substantial. And then the best part is they're basically the same weight as stock. So not, a huge increase in wheel size. Obviously I didn't weigh them with the tires, but I guess I can. But there's not an increase in the unsprung weight, which is obviously going to be a problem that'll negatively affect your handling characteristics. So I'm satisfied with that. I'm going to do a weighing with the tire on just to see overall what the unsprung weight is going to be. But as far as the rim is concerned, it's almost negligible. So that's great. The should not rub. I'm told that this is the widest, but some people stated that depending on the type of tire you use, the tire specs are a little bit different. Some could be a little bit wider, a little bit taller, even if they're the same dimensions overall or nominal dimensions. And so we'll see. I'm going to get to that. Unfortunately, I do want to get the the rear clamshell, bumper, and all this stuff back together. So, not too much of an undertaking. Basically, I just need to get the panels underneath for the exhaust. I have to put the rear bumper back on, and then the diffuser and basically where the reverse sensors go. And so that brings us over to this. So what you're looking at is the diffuser. This is the diffuser from the 400, which is brand new. And then there's the stock Evora S one. And you can see the profile. The S is actually about the same. There's obviously less fins. And so to fit this, I'm going to have to drill some holes. I remember reading that in one of the forums. But otherwise, it's pretty much a bolt-up ordeal. This is plastic. This is FRP. That's important because the FRP is significantly more expensive. I paid $170 for this, whereas that's like $1,000. So I guess it's because of labor and whatever, the fact that it's probably handmade, I don't know, but that's expensive. This one is not. So just from the perspective of putting something on that's $170 versus trying to fix and paint that, this just made a lot more sense. And I did actually question, because this is unfinished, it's not painted, do I just bolt it up like this, or do I have to paint it first? And the consensus was just bolt it up. So it'll be plastic, just like that. So that is the diffuser. And then the rear finishing panel, kind of the same thing. This is FRP. This is where the reverse sensors go. There's a part that has holes. There's another part that doesn't have holes. This one has holes because I had the reverse camera. And then the replacement that's off the 400 is plastic. And funny story about this, the price on the website of the place I ordered it from had it listed for $180. When they ordered it from Lotus, it was price adjusted to like $630 or something absurd. They wound up biting the bullet on that, so I didn't have to. So that was cool. Worked out in my favor. That doesn't always happen. But yeah, so basically this is the part that's going to secure to the rear bumper. So I have the rear bumper over there. I'll be kind of gluing this. It's got adhesive that it has to use, so I'll use that VHB or whatever it is, the 3M red stuff. I'll be securing it to the bumper with that. And then it's got some rivets that I have to put in. So got my work cut out for me. Putting the bumper together, putting everything together here. I'll have to take the wheel off in order to get access to a lot of this stuff. Start putting the fender lining and whatever back in. And then at that point, I will bolt up the wheels and see how they look. But just to end this with the profile, that's basically what you're looking at. And then you have the new wheels, which these things are monsters. So yeah, I'm going to do a side-by-side of that in a picture or whatever, but it just looks so freaking cool. I can't wait to get this this bolted up and actually rolling. So anyway, onto the bumper. I'll stop and point out anything that might happen that's interesting, but otherwise it's just going to be a long time lapse of me putting stuff together. Thanks. All right, well, here's where I'm going to leave things for tonight. Unfortunately, I got to wait for this to dry before I bolt this back up. So basically what you see is the rear diffuser finishing panel, whatever. It's riveted in place. I used 3/16 by 1/8 inch rivets all along the edge. There's little plastic washers that go between the finishing panel and the bumper. And then I used silicone, black silicone, between the two. There's a Beta Seal, I think is what they use from the factory. All I know is it's like, it works really well, but it was absolutely horrendous to get this detached. So anyway, silicone will be fine with these rivets. It's not going anywhere. And then there's like little lips on both sides. You can't really see, but it travels underneath. There's like a little lip. And I used the VHB double-sided tape and then used a little bit of silicone along the edge to, help with that. So those are going to dry overnight. You can see this one I had to put under a little bit of pressure. I guess the bumper is a little bit deformed or whatever. So that's applying some pressure. It'll dry overnight, and then I should be good to continue working on this thing. So, okay, back at it. Everything dried overnight. I just removed the clamps, and this looks like it's in good shape. I can see everything's really secure. So I'm going to go ahead and reattach this to the clam and get everything aligned, and start putting some of the interior and stuff back together and underneath the car, the plates. So yeah, jumping back in. I wanted to point out something interesting with the reverse sensors. Well, I attached the bumper, and of course I forgot to put the sensors in, so I'm removing it, and I have to put the parking sensors in. I believe they're numbered 1 through 4 from left to right. Worst case, I could just swap them at the control unit. They are numbered on here, and that's supposed to correspond to the control unit 1 through 4. I might have to swap it 4 through 1, but whatever. There's little notches at the top. And on the 400 diffuser finishing panel, there's no notches. So I'm literally just taking a little circular file and I'm filing it at the top because that's where it was on the factory. There was a notch on the top right at the 12 o'clock, and that's how the sensors worked. So anyway, just wanted to point that out real quick. I'm going to continue on this. Thanks. Okay, a couple of challenges. Got this bracket that fell off the bumper, so I'm re-epoxying that back. That's why I got the clamp here. Not the worst thing in the world. Otherwise, overall, the rear bumper is on. Got the reverse sensor finishing panel in there. Leveled out the exhaust. I think this is going to work out really well with that. And then I'll just put this tripod down so you can see the next thing. The shield that goes, I don't know what the hell you call it, it's an under tray. This one, I had to trim piece here because it was rubbing against the aftermarket exhaust. So just cut about, ½ inch off to clearance that. And I think it's okay. And so I'm going to get this mounted up now. And then afterwards, just see how that's going to mount. But then afterwards I have to put this diffuser panel on, or diffuser, onto the panel. And so this is going to go kind of like this. So I got to get these holes to match up, which looks like one hole does. I don't know if you can even see that. Looks like I got one hole that matches up here, but the rest of them not so much. So I was told that I would have to do some drilling to get this to adapt, and I was willing to do it, and I still am. So I'll be drilling some holes. You can see otherwise this is kind of keyed in. It goes into place. So I'll have to drill a hole, wherever it makes sense. Maybe I'll leave those open. I don't know. I'm going to play around with it, see what works best. But basically adapting this to the 400 diffuser. That's the summary there. Modifying this bracket and then bolting it back up. So back to it. All right, in looking at this again, I can see that these are the spots where the stock diffuser fins used to go. Obviously, this doesn't match up anymore. This is a 400. And then the holes on the bottom, I'm going to have to drill these through too. So you can see right here, drill, drill. This one was aligned. That one is aligned. Drill those two. And then I'm going to drill the fins where those lie. So basically how I did this is I just left this upright, just like that. Mark the holes. And now I'm going to drill them and put some bolts through. So holding it up like this though, that wasn't kind of stretching the plastic or deforming it any. And so I think this is the best approach. So I'm going to go ahead and drill and put some bolts in here and see how it looks. Alright, so here it is. The panel's all together. This is the diffuser panel with the diffuser fins from the 400. I used button head screws for a clean look. You are going to see this from the back. I know not everyone's going to be looking under this car. It is very low to the ground as well, but I just wanted the sleekness of the button head screws. And so had to drill in 2 extra holes on this side, and I had to drill all those holes for all the fins. So just kind of laid things out, and then where the fins fell most naturally, that's where I drilled. And that's it. So you can see some of the holes I originally thought I was going to use, I wound up not using. But this looks pretty good. And so with this trimmed and all this stuff together now, I'm going to try test fitting it. But pretty confident it'll work out. Little zoom down here to get the big picture, but look at that. Gotta get the taillights in, but man, looks really good. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with the way this diffuser came out. And the best part, it was dirt cheap. The reverse sensor, got charged 160 bucks for that. They admitted that they undercharged me, and they ate the difference, which is great. I think it was closer to 650. So that's cool. Not often that happens. And then the 400 piece, since it's plastic, I guess it's cheaper to manufacture, was just shy of 170 bucks. So looks great, and most importantly, it's not broken. One thing I just wanted to point out, I'm going to zoom back in here. I use those button head screws on the bottom for a sleek look, all stainless. There's some holes here from the fins before, the original style that doesn't fit, but that's fine. You're not even going to see it under the car. So anyway, I am very happy with that. And now I'm going to complete the look with the taillights, the nice carbon trim. So I'm going to start working on that now. All right, well, I didn't get very far with the taillights because I forgot that I had bad gaskets on the old ones. So I could either wait 2-3 weeks, a month to get them from Lotus, or I could just cut my own. So what do you think I'm doing? This is high density foam that I used for insulating in the car, and I think it'll work out just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and trace this out, get the gasket applied, and put these puppies in. They look sweet. So it's high gloss carbon, and then I have the GRP LED taillights going on. It's gonna look sick. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Show you how it looks. All right, this thing's looking pretty sweet. Got the taillights in and hooked up the battery so I could pop the trunk. That's why I felt safe closing the lid. And now I'm going to move on to the rear wheels. I was going to do the front and the rear, but honestly, there's really no reason to mess around with the front. As you can tell, I don't have the front clamshell on, so there's really no point. I'm not going to see any rubbing or clearance or any of that stuff. So what I will do is end this video by getting these rear wheels on. That's obviously only going to take a couple of minutes. And then dropping the car down so I can see what the stance looks like. Really excited to see what it looks like. To finally get that picture of the back of the car with everything bolted up. And then I could officially say that I'm done with this back half of the car. Still got to put the interior stuff into the trunk, but whatever. It's tedious. Just putting some panels back and then the carpeting and whatever. Not going to be very exciting there. So yeah, that's basically it. We'll get these wheels bolted up. We'll do a video of what it looks like. And hopefully nothing rubs when I drop the car. We'll see. All right, so there you go. The first thing I thought is it's been so long since I had this thing down on the ground. It's been up on this lift for, over a month now. I forgot how freaking low this car is. It's tiny, man. I mean, it's not Elise or Exige tiny, but it's small. So, anyway, check it out. Look at these tires, man. They look so good. And I don't have the fender linings in because I still have to drain the power steering fluid. So you need this out in order to gain access to that. And on the other side, I'm going to be running the methanol kit. But, I mean, it's got room. It's not flush, but I'm not really that concerned about it. I do have the rock guard that's going to go here. But it looks great. It just looks so good. Very happy with it. And look at that meat. My God. Get the light on here. Look at how close that is. It's ridiculous. It's so good. Oh, this thing looks so nasty now. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to sit here and stare at it for a couple minutes before I go to bed because it's another late night. But this was great progress. And hopefully soon I'll be getting my crate from the UK with everything else that I've been waiting for like over 2 months now. All right. So anyway, if you like this, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everyone.